Gender and changes in women's status in Korea.
Welcome to the next lecture on gender and women's status in Korean history. We're going to look at gender issues and how women's status was defined throughout Korean history, beginning with the ancient period and going into the modern period. And it's important to note that the role of gender changes in its specific historical context, and to understand that gender is also defined in different ways depending upon the context. We are going to examine how gender is constructed in different time periods, and to understand that there's a difference between gender and biological sex. We will also see that gender roles change over time, and that they are not fixed, they are not permanent, but in fact are influenced by the changing historical circumstances. So join me in this exploration of gender and women's status throughout Korean history.
Introduction. Gender in the ancient and medieval periods. Gender and Confucian ideology during the Joseon dynasty. Gender and the modern period. The contemporary period. Conclusion. Introduction.
So to begin with, we're going to understand what the meaning of gender is in particular and how it can be specific to a certain historical context.
Recommended prerequisite learning. Please check Lecture 3 on social status.
If we're going to review early beliefs and what we have covered in previous lectures, we have looked at status and how differences in social status emerge and how they can change in determination in Korea over time. So social status and gender are often interlinked and often influence each other, and so we are going to look at how this is determined and changes from the pre-modern into the modern period. First, we need to ask, what exactly is gender? What are we talking about when we talk about gender? And what is the difference between gender and sex? Well, scholars today will argue that sex is something that is biological and that is something that is physical, whereas gender is socially constructed. And what we mean by this is that there are certain social practices that determine gender. So someone that is feminine will behave in certain ways, and someone that is masculine will behave in other ways. But we also have come to realize in modern times that gender is not just binary, but that there is actually quite a range. We should also take note that gender is not specific to women only, but once you define gender, that gender refers to everybody. So it is not just women, it is not just men, but it refers to everyone. But why does gender matter? Well, gender matters because this affects identity, it affects social relations, and it affects status. It also affects how we view others and how we interact with others. So this is why we are looking at gender, and we are looking at it in its specific Korean case.
These are the keywords for this class. Gender, social status,